We're here in Barcelona with Dylan Fletcher, helmsman for INEOS Britannia. Dylan, southeast winds today of about 14 knots and a tricky steep and short wave. Where was your main focus out there today?
Yeah, it was a fantastic day here in Barcelona. I think it looks a lot more uncomfortable in the chase bow than it was on the yacht. And yeah, we're just another testing day and ticking off the checklist.
You were sailing for first time with the J4. How did it feel?
Yeah, it was nice to get the J4 up at the end there. To be honest, the breeze eased down, so we probably should have been on the J3, but it was good to see it and check it all out. And yeah, we'll be pushing it hard in the next few days.
About the first jibes you did with the J4 were not as clean as with the J3. Were you acclimating to the sail?
I think today we were constantly adjusting the technique with the waves and trying new things out, so probably just part of that.
We could see that the higher shroud from the leeward side were quite slack today. Why was it?
I don't know, to be honest. I didn't notice they were that slack, so I'll have to talk to one of the people in the sales department.
Okay. Then maybe we're wrong, but after some days watching you, we think that your main sail is smaller than the other teams. Are we right or are we wrong?
I don't know, to be honest. I mean, we're on the smaller of the two mains that we have today, which was really nice. It was in range, so I think the small mains are always nice, but they're not good in the bottom end.
Also, about the jib, we noticed you are using 6 buttons only compared to the other teams that they are using between 7 and 9. Can you give us a word about?
I guess we don't have the gaff at the top. So we don't have the square top jib, so that probably is, one of the battens, or maybe even 2 of them. So it might be just that difference.
Today you had 2 cameras in the port side foil, one in the low pressure side, the other one in the high pressure side. Are you checking ventilation, deflection from the profiles?
Yeah, it was a bit more, at range at times today. So we're just looking at, all the same usual things that other teams are, I'm sure, like ventilation, cavitation. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
We're here with Tom Slingsby, helming on starboard at American Magic. It's a pretty rock and roll out there on the water in Barcelona. What was the focus of the day?
That's the first time we've sailed in that sort of sea state with Patriot. It was I don't know, maybe a bit over 1 metre waves, but very sort of confused onshore sea state. So it was really just get our settings for that sort of sea state and what feels good and how the foils feel in a bit different waves, different angles, and yeah, I feel like we did that.
Yeah, so this is day 10 on the water, and as you mentioned, not many wavy days so far, but are you noticing a difference in performance compared to the flatter days?
Yeah, for sure. Like when we first got out there, it was really hard to get the balance of the boat right, whether it was the foils or the sail. We were quite unstable the first half of the day, and we made some changes, and yeah, we're able to get a little bit more stability, especially downwind.
Can you tell us what changes were made?
There's sails and the foils. With the sails, like you can easily get a little bit too top loaded and a little bit tippy in the top of the rig, and we just tried to move the center of effort down a little and see if we can get a bit of stability that way.
And how about your new rudder? How's that helping you, especially downwind in conditions like today?
Yeah, the new rudder, it's a bit longer. It's our long rudder, and it felt pretty good actually. Like it almost saves you a couple of times there. You get a bit out of whack with heel or ride height, and having that extra depth in the rudder can definitely save your ass.
You had 2 battery changes within less than an hour of sailing, and the cyclors changed as well. Is there a big impact on the energy requirement in these conditions?
Yeah, we were having a few issues with batteries during the day, and so we probably weren't out there as long as we would have liked. One of our batteries was just playing up a bit, and we decided to play it safe and take that off, so hence it was a bit shorter day than what we would usually have.
And are you operating mostly in direct drive in these sort of conditions?
Yeah, we're direct drive most of the time, and you've got the accumulator there. The guys actually were playing with different functions when they want to use the accumulator, what times on the racetrack it's going to be important, and yeah, they changed that a few times.
So when are you using that stored energy?
It's just times we really need it. It might be a bottom mark turn up. It might be a takeoff where you're just trying to get everything on quickly. Yeah, generally in a takeoff or a turn up is when you would like to get the sails on quickly.
Tom, thank you for your time.
No worries. Cheers.
Thank you.
Here with Thierry, the only former cyclist in Alinghi Red Bull Racing, today cycling on the second shift. Thierry, how did it go?
So it went, let's say, well. We had a small issue in the middle of the day, and otherwise with those tricky conditions, the wind was very shifty, so it was definitely an interesting day to work our technique.
What happened to it? What was the reason for coming back ashore?
Yeah, I think coordination mistakes that led to a broken button in the mainsail, so we had to come back, change them, and we were ready to go sailing again.
And when talking about cycling, normally how much time do you spend actively cycling every day when you're on board?
I think most of the time I'm cycling on the boat. I'm pedaling, so because every time they need to move the sails, we need to pedal. So as soon as the boat is sailing, and most of the time we are pedaling. Yeah.
Are you cycling all together at the same time, at the same piece, or are you all independent?
Obviously, we need a lot of coordination between the driving group, between the cyclers to power the sails, to move the sails. So everyone is, very focused to cycle when required, and we try to be the best. As much coordinated as possible. Yeah.
Do you also need a good coordination in between the cyclers?
Yeah, for sure, because if one guy is not following the other, it's really hard to perform at our best.
Then when talking about the strength and the amount of watts that you create on board, do you have an advantage being a former cyclist?
No, definitely not. I think there's a good reason why I'm the only cyclist, because I'd say the rowers are much more powerful and heavier than a normal cyclist. And it's true that since I arrived, I had to take a lot of weight, which is obviously not very good for a cyclist, but on the boat it seems to be the good profile, heavy with a lot of power. So I guess my cycling background helped me to be efficient on the boat, but definitely I'm running after the rowers in terms of power.
When comparing your preparation now on board Alinghi Red Bull Racing to when you were a track cyclist, how did it change?
Well, obviously the racing will be very different, but most of my time I spend it on a bike. Inside, outside, on the boat, I'm pedaling, so I'd say it doesn't change a lot in terms of training, but obviously the main goal is very different. But I'd say a race on the track is what I used to race, like Madison or Omnium or at the Olympic, was maybe 10 to 15-minute racing, so I guess it's pretty similar in terms of effort to what we faced during the America's Cup.
And then when talking about nutrition, in order to gain weight, are you taking any supplements? Are you taking any special drinks?
Well, it's apart from the protein shake that everyone drinks, just eating as much as possible, as much as I can ingest. But yeah, we have a lot of people to support us. We have the Red Bull APC that helps us to stay fit and to get in the shape we want to be.
And last but not least, when speaking out the position in which you have to cycle on board, is it very different to the one you were used to be on the bike?
No. It's I mean, the bicycle has not evolved a lot since many years. If you turn pedal, it's still the same movement, kind of the same movement. Obviously, it's a bit different. The system is different, but at the end, we need to pedal. And if it's lying like the American normal position like us, I mean, at the end of the day, you're still spinning on crank, so it's pretty similar,
Okay, thank you very much.